Hey crew, Conrad coming at you with a new product alert on this epic 2-seat rear engine long travel roller brought to you by Sandcar Basics. I have no doubt that you're going to want to get more information on this car just like me, so check this out. So here's Sandcar Basics Instagram page. If you haven't visited it yet, you're going to want to go check it out because not only do they have this epic car that they're building on here, right? They've also got over 3,100 posts on Sandcars, right? And they build some epic machines, and they also share photos of all the cars that are out at the dunes as well. Some of the most iconic vehicles that we've seen out in the sand dunes. So they kind of know what they're doing when it comes to building Sandcars, right? Oh, and I almost forgot. They are Mike Mazzone Sandcar Specialists. So if you happen to have a Mazzone Sandcar, either beam or A-arm, you need parts for it, you need some modifications done to it, these are guys to help you out. Also, they do this. They also groove paddle tires. That's right. Look up Sand Tire Basics on Instagram while you're there. And if you run a Sandcar, side-by-side, Jeep, off-road truck, Baja Bug, and you want paddle tires for it, these are the guys you're going to want to see. Typically what will happen is the tires, you'll groove off one of the paddles, right? We see that over and over and over. But what they also do here is they comp cut. What's a comp cut paddle tire? Right here. They'll take an extra layer of rubber off the carcass. Gives you a little bit taller of a paddle, but you know what it really does is it lightens up that tire. And boy, it's amazing how much weight they'll take off that tire to make it so it's able to spin even faster. So you got that big horsepower engine with those lightweight aluminum wheels with a lightweight tire. Yeah, you're gonna boogie with this setup. So head over there and check them out as well. So there you have it. Sand Tire Basics for all your sand tire needs, as well as Sandcar Basics for all your Mazzone and this new sled that they're coming out with right now. So let's jump inside the photos and take a closer look. And first, let me just say, oh my gosh. All of those years of building all of those sand cars has paid off. I mean, just look at the overall design of this car. It's going to be absolutely planted, and it is going to move. But before I keep geeking out about it, let's get into some specs. Okay, as I mentioned, brought to you by Sandcar Basics. What do they say? Fresh roller. The SCB1 is on its feet. Lightweight, TIG welded, all chromoly, 125-inch wheelbase, 19.5 inches front, and 20.5-inch rear wheel travel, running 930 CVs. Plenty of wheel travel. Those whoop-de-doos don't stand a chance, right? This car will finish out with a turbo, Subaru, and 2D power. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm a Subaru guy, right? Whether you're going to put a 4-cylinder in that or you're going to put a 6-cylinder turbo in there, either one of those engines is going to be a lot of fun in this car. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. What else does he say? Time for tin, so they're going to be putting the aluminum work on it as well. How? Rack with CarTech electric power steering. So handy, especially when you're running razors, especially when the sand is wet. Fox 2.0 shocks. The front width is going to be 82.5 inches and the rear width will be 92.5 inches with paddles. So if you've got an extra wide toy hauler, you should slide in there with a little bit of room to spare. Overall length is going to be 181 inches and the roller weight as pictured is 874 pounds. Unbelievable. I'm a big horsepower to weight ratio guy. This car definitely has it. They think the finished weight will be approximately 1,650 pounds. We will find out as this car progresses and they finish it exactly what it weighed at, and then they'll probably run it on the dyno. We'll get the horsepower numbers as well. They also state next up they're going to build one with an LS3, S4 trans, and external bypasses. But if you have to run a V8, they're also going to build a car for you as well. Okay, so let's jump into those photos. Okay, let's see what we see. Sand Tires Unlimited Razor Blaster. That's the huge front sand tires that they offer, right? So with the 20 inches of front wheel travel on that and that big old tire, man, the bigger the tire, the smaller the hole. This thing's going to sail across the dunes, right? Looks like we've got a beadlock wheel on there and disc brakes on the front. Another thing that I really like about this car is it's got stubby A-arms on it, right? Harkens to the Alumacrafts, the early Alumacraft cars. He runs a really short A-arm on there. And I asked John Cooley about that. I was like, hey, why do you run such a short one? You know, you're running back to the A-pillar right here. And he says, well, if you wreck and you bend a wheel, those A-arms aren't going to come back and poke you up. Off-road race car driver, builder, I'm like, sold, bro. You got it. So super nice setup on that. And let's slide this photo over and see. Look at the lines. Look at the lacing. Another super awesome thing, which is a new touch to the newer cars, right, is that radius roof. You guys know I'm always harping on an A-pillar that goes straight up, but look at the radius on this as well. Beautiful. Also leads right back to this B-pillar that rides back to your torsion tube, right? Structurally sound. Coming back here into the shocks. Triangulation. They built it right. It's a beautiful machine. Got some big seats in there, comfy seats. Plenty of room for the fuel tank and the radiator. We'll have to see where they're going to place that. Look at those shock mounts. Again, big beadlocks in the back, big tires with beadlocks in the back. And I love the rear bumper design on that as well. And what do we see? A polished Mendeola poking out. Oh boy. Gosh, I can't wait to see this car done. I'm thinking that, what is it? The magenta from T-Mobile, right? That color would pop on the sand. This thing would be awesome. I like really bright cars. Okay, I'll stop. Next. So if you've watched the show long enough, you know that I love sand cars, right? I geek out on them. The different chassis designs, the lacing, the tubes, the bends, everything that they do to them. I am so excited about this car because it's like the culmination of all these different designs and ideas right in this package right here. So this is just an absolutely epic built machine. I'm really stoked for these guys. We got a real nice bumper in the front. Another thing I noticed, it's got a tube right here in the middle of the top. Triangulation coming down from there to there to the shock. Also, check out the rear bumper. It just sticks out just a little bit with the radius on it. Why is it going to have the radius in the back going up? Because we're going to be doing wheelies in this car. That's why that's going up. And if I know them well enough, I'm going to put a wheelie bar on it as well. Some of us call it a sissy stick, right? Or sissy sticks from the drag racers. Anyhow. Okay, let's jump into the next photo and take a look. Okay, so now we've got the rear 3/4 view on this, right? See that bumper that I mentioned earlier? Gosh, look at this. Just the extra details that they're putting in this just looks absolutely fantastic. Also, this is a single shock car, right? And a lot of guys are like, well, how come you're not putting bypasses on it? Well, the folks decided to put a Subaru in this car. Lightweight overall package. You're not going to need to run the bypass shocks on that. That single Fox coilover with a remote reservoir. With a remote reservoir is going to handle that suspension just fine. So again, look at the lacing that we see in there, that triangulation that we have, just beautiful, absolutely awesome overall design. I'll stop. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. So check out this overhead shot that we've got in the shop, right? Up here, I mean, come on guys. They've really put this package together. This is so nice. Look at the steering hanger. That tube coming off right there. And then the electric power steering. So not only is this car going to haul ass, but it's going to turn so easy. Gosh, I'm so geeked on it. I'm so excited. Can you tell? Duh. Right? Don't have the shocks on it in this photo. It looks like it was just a roller, almost a roller at this time. Plenty of width between the seats. Big cabin. Plenty of headroom. Wonder if they're going to tint the top. Because you know what I would do? I would put the plexi, right? The tinted plexi in there. So you can still see out at the top of the hill when you're out at Olds or China Wall. Or you're jumping the double. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? These guys, they like to go down to Buttercup. They run those dunes. Competition Hill down there and the drags. So chances are you'll run into them at the South Dunes, not up at the North Dunes where I go and hang out. I'm going to have to make a special trip to see this car. Okay, next. So check out this coming at you shot, right? Gives us a good idea of the width. 82.5 inches wide. This thing is going to be absolutely planted with that rear track width on there, matching the front almost. It's just so close. There we get an idea of the reservoir. We've got the remote reservoirs that are clamped onto the frame on there. What did you say? CarTech power steering, electric. Then we've got the nice two tubes coming. I can't wait to see this thing popping with the chrome and the powder coat on it, right? Oh, and check out the floor. I can just make it out right here. Look at that. Coming off the rails on the bottom. Structurally sound. Just overall, it looks like a spider almost, right? But this is a great shot of this thing, and it looks fast sitting still. All right, I think we got one, maybe two more photos. Let's take a look. Okay, so I guess there's not much else I can talk about on this car because we've just got a roller, right? There's not a bunch of other accessories bolted onto it yet. We're really looking at the overall package and the specs of the car. Lightweight, big Subaru horsepower, 2D Mendeola. This car is absolutely going to scoot at the drags and in the dunes. It's just a fantastically designed package. And I can't wait to go for a ride in it and get some footage of it out in the dunes. Okay, crew, I guess that's all I got on this one. If you want more information on this car, paddle tire grooving, you need yourself a set of sand tires. It also mentions here welding and repairs 24/7, right? So if you're out at the dunes, you can hit them up. They're going to be able to take care of you. Otherwise, that's all I've got. Thank you for watching. See you in the dunes.